Have you ever stood in a place so vast, so silent, that you could hear the earth itself breathe? Imagine a landscape painted in shades of gold, where dunes stretch to the horizon like frozen ocean waves. Now, imagine those waves singing. Not a whisper, not a rustle, but a deep, resonant hum that vibrates through the soles of your feet and into your very soul. This isn't a fantasy. This is the Gobi Desert, home to one of the planet's most mesmerizing and mysterious phenomena, the singing sands. I first heard about this place not in a geography class, but from an old traveler's tale. He spoke of a sound, a chorus that rises from the dunes, sometimes like a drum, other times like a cello, and on rare occasions, like a choir of 1,000 voices. For years that story echoed in my mind. Was it real? Or just a myth, a legend whispered by caravaneers crossing the ancient Silk Road? The more I read, the more I realized the truth was far more magical than the fiction. Scientists had theories, grain size, humidity, electrostatic charges, but no single explanation could fully capture the spirit of what was happening. It was a song, and I knew I had to go hear it for myself. The journey to the Mingsha Shan, or Singing Sand Mountains, near Dunhuang was an adventure in itself. Leaving the bustling city behind, the world dissolved into an endless expanse of rock and sand. The air grew thin and crisp. Then I saw them. Dunes, some towering hundreds of feet high, sculpted by millennia of wind. They looked alive, silent, but brimming with potential energy. My guide, a local man whose family had lived in the shadow of these dunes for generations, smiled at my awe. He told me the sands only sing under specific conditions. They need to be perfectly dry, the wind just right. The desert decides when it wants to speak, he said. He shared local legends, one of which spoke of an army buried beneath the sand in a sudden, violent sandstorm. The sound, they say, is the ghostly echo of their war drums, a solemn reminder of the desert's power. Another legend tells of a beautiful princess who, lost in the desert, played a magical lute to guide her lover, and the sands have carried her melody ever since. Standing at the base of a massive dune, the silence was profound. It was almost unnerving. I took a deep breath and began the climb. With every step, my feet sank into the fine, golden grains. The ascent was tough, a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of struggle. The sun beat down, and the wind whipped tiny grains against my face. But as I neared the crest, something shifted. A faint hum started, almost imperceptible. Was I imagining it? I reached the top, panting, and looked out over a sea of sand. I sat down on the sharp ridge of the dune. And then I did what the guide told me to do. I slid. As my body displaced the sand, sending a small avalanche cascading down the steep face, it happened. The sound wasn't just a hum anymore. It swelled into a low-frequency drone, a deep, resonant bass note that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the dune. It was incredible. It wasn't just a sound I heard with my ears. I felt it in my chest. It was a vibration, a powerful, living pulse. I slid again, and again the dune sang its ancient song. It was both beautiful and haunting, a melody composed by wind, gravity, and time. Looking at that vast, seemingly empty landscape, I realized something profound. We often search for meaning in noise, in the hustle of our cities and the constant chatter of our digital lives. We think that's where life is happening. But here, in this immense quiet, the planet was speaking. The singing sand wasn't just a geological quirk. It was a lesson. It was a reminder that the most powerful forces are often the most patient. These dunes were built grain by grain, over thousands of years. Their song isn't a sudden explosion. It's a slow, deliberate release of energy, a response to a specific touch, a specific moment. How often in our own lives do we rush past the quiet moments? How often do we ignore the subtle signals, the gentle hums, that tell us something important is happening beneath the surface? We're so busy climbing, so focused on the next peak, that we forget to listen to the journey itself. We're taught to be loud, to be heard, to be constantly moving, to be seen as productive. But the desert teaches a different lesson. It teaches the power of stillness, the importance of listening, and the beauty of responding authentically when the conditions are right. Think about your own life. What is your singing sand? What is that deep, resonant truth within you that only emerges when you give it the right conditions? Maybe it's a creative passion you've ignored, a relationship that needs your quiet presence, or a personal truth that you've been too busy to acknowledge. The Gobi's song isn't just for the desert. It's a metaphor for our own potential. It's the music that's waiting inside all of us, waiting for us to stop, to be still, and to listen. It won't shout over the noise of your everyday life. You have to create the silence to hear it. You have to be willing to slide, to let go of your footing for a moment, to trust the process. That day, sitting on a dune as the sun began to set, painting the sky in fiery colors, I didn't feel small in the face of the desert's vastness. I felt connected to it. The same forces that shaped those dunes, time, patience, energy, are the same forces that shape us. The Song of the Sand was a reminder that there is a rhythm to the universe, and if we are quiet enough, we can learn to play our own part in that grand symphony. It taught me that sometimes the most profound experiences aren't found in reaching the destination, but in the moments we allow ourselves to slide, to let go, and to just listen to the music that follows. So I want to leave you with this. Don't wait for a trip to the Gobi Desert to find your singing sand. Find a moment of quiet in your life today. Turn off the notifications, step away from the noise, and just listen. Listen to your own breath. Listen to the world around you. And most importantly, listen to that quiet, deep hum inside you. It might be faint at first, but it's there. That's your song. That's your truth waiting to be heard. Give it the silence it needs. Give it the space to grow. And when you're ready, don't be afraid to slide, to take that leap, and let your own unique, beautiful, and powerful music resonate with the world. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the wonders of our world. Until next time, keep listening.